Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in anticipation of tomorrow's announcement from T-Mobile, I wanted to make this video and kind of get a feel of what you guys think it's going to be. I'm like I said in my previous videos, I'm 99.9% sure it's going to be the commercial official launch of the T-Mobile home internet. And just as I'm anticipating them to announce that tomorrow, I had to cancel mine. It just didn't meet my needs. I've had it for multiple weeks now as my primary connection. So it's not like I kept it a couple of days and then cut it off. I did go through one cycle of software upgrades. I think the firmware went from 132 to 168, if I remember correctly. So I went through all that. I had the necessary speeds to make the streaming work, but it was still buffering. It was still latching on sometimes to band 12 LTE only. And to get it back to the N41 connection, I had to factory reset the router. And then even sometimes with the N41 connection and me clearly getting about 200 megabits per second, I was still buffering, and I still saw the degradation of quality. I did. YouTube TV auto selects quality. I started off the stream on 1080p and it ended at 240p with multiple speed tests of over 50 megabits per second while I'm watching live TV. So there seems to be an issue on not just on the core network side of the tower, but on the back end, the DNS routing, the switches, just stuff that we really don't see out in the wild. There seems to be a bigger issue on the back end that they have to fix. It's something that it's been a persistent issue even throughout LTE, even throughout the LTE era for them. Calls dropping. People have lag, text messages not sending right away. I've noticed and experienced all those issues over the years. And these issues came more apparent as me using T-Mobile as a primary versus previously using AT&T or even Verizon. It's like a night and day difference between those networks. It's like, hey, I was able to immediately place that call or immediately send that text message on AT&T, and with T-Mobile, at times, it just wasn't the case. And same again with this home internet. Yeah, it's still in beta. Yeah, it might get another software update, but that's not enough for me. There's too much uncertainty at this point. People are telling me there's 2 to 3 hour wait times to get a hold of support. And then even as you get on the line with support, there isn't much they can do. Yeah, they're giving out credits, which is fine. That'll keep some customers calm, but they can't send a technician to your house to check out the connection. They really won't be able to offer much solution over the phone. With AT&T, at least home internet, I can have a technician come check the lines, clear the lines, change cabling if needed. Maybe the router is defective. They usually have some on hand. So those are things that I can do. With T-Mobile, that kind of becomes an issue. It seems like they underinvested in proper support for this product. So if you call in that there's maybe no less than a 5-minute wait to get somebody on the phone, if your router is defective, that seems to be an issue. Then I don't know if they have the warehouse supply to meet the demand. If there is those defective units that I've been hearing about, does T-Mobile have enough in stock to make it a quick turnaround? I think those need to be shipped overnight, so you have one the next day. I don't think that's the case. I've had people tell me they've had to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to get a replacement unit when theirs has been defective. So that's not really a good way to enter that side of the business. This is a new primary business for T-Mobile that they are likely to announce tomorrow. So, and as we That's something else that I wanted to mention in this video. As we got a new report that this is another third party that T-Mobile has claimed in the past. And T-Mobile declared the most reliable 5G network. Again, this is something that they're pushing and they're doing a good job at it. I got to give that to them. They're looking to change, once and for all, change the perception of its network this year and next year. They're really pushing that envelope. And they're very focused on that. So they're going to push the 5G leadership, 5G fastest speed, 5G reliability. And they're not lying. They have the largest 5G network. That's nobody disputing that. That's a fact. They do. But they don't have the largest overall network. They just don't. They have the largest 5G because they've invested in that since 2017. And that's something that I mentioned in previous podcasts and previous videos, that they kind of abandoned LTE starting in 2015. They went to sites. They started adding the dual radios, and they started adding those 5G panels, the bigger ones that we've seen. And then it was in markets that had 20 by 20 band 71. They started getting 15 megahertz of it on 5G, and then only 5 megahertz on LTE. So again, it was kind of like LTE just didn't matter anymore. So now people are seeing a huge drop off in speed on LTE, and they're picking it up again once they get into a 5G device. So that could be part of T-Mobile strategy. You know, customers call in, hey, I'm having a bad experience. Well, you need to get into a 5G device. Maybe that's their way of being proactive on 5G adoption rates on phones. That's not the best way to go about it, in my opinion, but if that's something that they think is the right thing to do on their end, then, you know, that's on them. So I think, as the anticipation is that the T-Mobile commercial home internet is launching tomorrow, I think it's going to be an issue. It's going to be something that they have to work through. I don't think they shut it down, but I think they're going to be hit with high churn. People are just going to start sending the product back. In this day and age, now that we're more reliant on the digital side with streaming and you know, Zoom and Skype and FaceTime, people notice these issues now. The buffering, the lower quality, hey, this doesn't look like it did previously when I had my other provider. And T-Mobile has to realize that it's embedded in people's minds that it should look a certain way. It's not like it was in the past. It's different now. And if you've had that experience with the previous provider and T-Mobile can't match that one for one, it's going to be an issue. It really is. It's going to be an issue for them, and that's something that they have to deal with. They should have had money specifically behind this home internet product, and instead of just launching it and then putting it all on the network to handle it. And when those issues appear, you have a 2 to 3 hour wait time for somebody to get on the line or to call you back, and then they don't call you back. So that's a big issue, and that's going to be even a worser issue as they migrate more of that Sprint user base over to the team of experts. That's going to be more people calling in to that, to that same line. So I know home internet does have a different number to call, but I mean, the pipelines are getting overloaded on both sides. There's too many people calling for home internet, and there's too many people calling team of experts. I'm getting more and more and more people from team of experts answering from overseas, the Philippines, the Indians, that I'm getting those kinds of calls from overseas, those people answering there. So, I mean, that's all fine. I mean, if that's how they want to operate, I'm sure they're saving money, but that's not really what the team of experts was about. It was about more inbound calls, more U.S. calls. That's what they were preaching back when they launched that on Carrier Move. Now it's completely different. Why? Because the business is exceedingly bigger. But again, that's something that they should have known. I mean, they were in the war rooms. They were in the meetings. They were in the trial. They were They were there. Everybody was there. The numbers were presented. They should have been like, oh man, we might need more customer service. We might need more tech people. We might need more home internet customer service. I mean, that should have been discussed. It's a no-brainer. So that kind of does tick me off a bit. So I didn't even call. I'm not even going to call T-Mobile for a credit. I'm just going to call the customer care team of experts if I can get them on the line, and I'm just going to cancel and send the router back. That's what I'm going to do. AT&T's home internet is back on. I mean, it's night and day already, and I'm only like 2 hours back into the home internet for AT&T. This TV has not buffered one time or has dropped quality, not once. And I'm only doing 50 down and 10 up with zero jitter and zero packet loss. And it's beautifully. With T-Mobile, I was getting triple the speed and higher uplink, and I couldn't even upload a YouTube video in a timely manner, or my video was buffering on the TV, my live TV. So again, I just wanted to make this video to kind of, for the anticipation of tomorrow's announcement. I'd like to hear from you guys. If it's the T-Mobile home internet commercial launch nationwide, and then I'm sure we're going to start seeing some marketing on TV. Do you guys think it's too soon? Do you think they needed to wait a little, make a bigger investment in customer support, maybe even a better router at this point? I'm hearing that's an issue too with quality control. So let me know in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading your comments. If you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. Thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.